Now we have someone from the class of 1970.
Talk about a hard act to follow. We can sing along with you because we were your little sisters. And the song that we knew best besides our senior song was yours. I'm Susan Yiddish. I'm representing the class of 1970. When I thought about what I wanted to say, I had two contradictory thoughts. The more things change, the more they stay the same, and how much has changed since we went to Hunter. My class began Hunter in September 1964, just after the Harlem riots in the summer of '64, which began with the police killing of a black teenager. Not so different from the current news stories. While we were at Hunter, the fact that the school population did not reflect New York City's population was discussed, and different strategies were tried in the classes after us. Again, not so different than the speech of a recent graduate about how the population of Hunter does not reflect the city's population. But then again, when I look at the audience, we didn't have audiences like this. As many of my predecessors have mentioned, we were all girls. We were also the last class to have spent 6 years and graduate from our building on 68th Street. The school was evicted right after our graduation. Our years at Hunter were tumultuous ones. In the background was always the Vietnam War. The Gulf of Tonkin resolution was also passed the month before we started Hunter. This isn't that long, it's handwritten. The anti-war movement, the moratorium against the war, the counterculture, the assassinations of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and our US Senator Robert Kennedy, it happened while we were there. They rocked us. We graduated in the wake of Kent State, Jackson State, when they were shooting at college students, which we were about to become. We were Hunter students, though, for the beginning of the modern feminist movement, with the demand for equal rights. We were at Hunter when the Stonewall riots marked the very, very beginning of the gay rights movement. And let's not forget, we were at Hunter when it was Woodstock. Throughout all these years, we had a place to think, to process what was happening in the outside world. I recall coming to school, and as you walked in, there was someone there handing you a flyer about some political issue or another. We had many class discussions, notably in English class, in social studies class, about what was happening in the world, never in French, never, unfortunately. We also spoke among ourselves about these issues. And on a much smaller note, during our junior year, we were finally allowed to wear pants to school. And if you don't think that was important, just think what it was like to go on a snowy winter day in your skirt and pantyhose. Many of my class were among the first women at Yale, RPI, Union College. We became doctors, lawyers, college professors. We have editors. We even have a couple of rabbis in our class, artists, journalists, at least one former CEO of an investment firm, nurse, a major veterinarian who literally wrote the book on shelter medicine, a statistician, talented singers, and I could go on and on. But we also have a good number who didn't necessarily have careers, who just worked in different jobs. And we had many teachers. When I spoke with classmates about a reunion, a submission for our class report 15 and 20 years ago, I've been kind of working on our reunions for a long time, I would be told, oh, you're not interested in me. I didn't become a doctor or a lawyer. I didn't do anything special. And I would try to convince this woman that yes, all of our lives are special. But this time, when I with speaking with people, I heard more from Hunter made me who I am today. I don't know whether it's just age that we've come to realize what's more important rather than what we did, but who we are. Social media has also enabled us to continue our discussions, rekindled friendships, and our new friendships that began during our reunions and continue all the time. We've had many reunions in California, in Washington, D.C., and tomorrow, 75 of us are meeting for brunch in Morningside Heights. Our class has raised over $15,000 so far, and we're looking more for the school. I have always been proud to say that I went to Hunter College High School, and I think I speak that this is true of most of my class, and that we hope that we all support free, excellent public education. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next representative is from the class of 1975.
Well, I have to say, up until about 5 minutes ago, I thought that we had the most immodest senior song. See, I was wrong. Simply proclaiming ourselves the sexy, sensational, sovereign, successful super seniors of 75 is clearly, barely scratching the surface. No, it's that too. Anyway, I'm very pleased to represent us today. And our previous fearless leader, Deborah Kahn, who did the last 3 reunions, said she absolutely had no time, that she had negative 48 hours in the day this spring. She needed enough time for she had enough on her plate for 3 or 4 people. She begged me to take it over, and it was just too embarrassing to let us put a note in the alum notes saying, anybody want to be our coordinator? So I said, okay, I'll take it. She said it would be a lot of work, and also very rewarding. She was totally correct. I have managed to track down 86% of our class. And I have half of them here today. And okay, you guys did great. I mean, you probably got more than me, but I was pretty proud of that, 68 out of 136. 2 are dead. I am sorry about that, but, I did everything but dig them up, One of them was a Jehovah's Witness, got married out of high school, and I called a Kingdom Hall in Detroit trying to find her. I tried. Okay. All right. So anyway, my class was unusual in multiple ways. One of which was hinted at when you last one said we were the last class to get out of to spend the whole time at 68th Street. We were the only class to spend up to 6 years at 466 Lexington Avenue. An office building in the shadow of Grand Central. And I'm sure the office building people absolutely hated us because they could not get in the elevator at 8:40 or 2:15. And we had, these bizarre fire drills where we'd walk down two flights of stairs and stand in the hallway and stare at the walls. We had these hand-painted murals we put all over the walls. Especially, we all remember The Little Prince was the best one. Excuse me. We had lambstons to play in, and zum-zums, lambstons and zum-zums, and Grand Central Station for a living room, which, as one of my classmates helpfully pointed out, always smelled of pee. The living room always smelled of pee. All right. We were also one of the last all-female classes. And we got boys when we were in the 10th grade, and they were in the 7th grade, and I don't need to tell you that 10th grade girls have very little use for 7th grade boys, except as target practice. But it was a real pleasure to be in an all-girls school because we did not have to be self-conscious about what we wore to school or whether we outshone the boys or anything. We spent those formative years from 11 or 12 to 17 or 18 just learning how to be ourselves and intellectually developing, and it was great. I felt sorry for the people behind us that didn't get that, honestly. No disrespect meant to the males in the audience, okay? But it really was something special. The other thing that was wonderful, and this was true for all of you, I think, is that we spent 6 years not having to worry about being picked on for being smart. Right. Okay? We were the bright ones picked out of the various schools, and nobody was going to pick on us for being smart because we were all the nerds together. It was great. You know, it was a wonderful, protected environment for smart girls who didn't have to think about anything except learning and developing. So it was great. So that was wonderful. So we became all different things. We became doctors and lawyers and housewives and artists and journalists and secretaries and writers and artists and actresses, and we have 2 judges and 2 thrift shop owners that I know of. But we also shared, you know, we all had that same hunter experience behind us, and whenever you put us all in the same room, there's a buzz like no other, you know. We had shared experiences. Ira Marienhoff, Jack McNeil, Irving Kisner, Dr. Barada, Sue Leung, a lot of great teachers. Can't list them all. Good teachers. Marienhoff probably premier among all, but all great. And we had shared personal memories like the smoking bathroom. And trying to play cage ball in the office building was interesting because we'd knock out all the ceiling tiles. You know, so anyway, for me it was like playing jacks after school with Sophia in 7th grade and regularly getting thrown out of the library at the end because, you know, it was so nice in that back corner, in the little corner in the back of the back aisle, you know, so I'd be there till closing time. I got thrown out like every night. Anyway, it was a world when it was tokens, not Metro cards, before internet and cell phones, when if you ignored someone else, it was probably because your nose was in a book, and it certainly wasn't because your nose was in the computer or your iPhone or a video game. It was even before disco and big summer effects, summer blockbusters, and Star Wars, the first set of Star Wars. A lot of good music at the time. I went to a great deal of trouble to select great music for this reunion, and my classmates are so busy talking they can't even hear it. I could have made a defensible program out of Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Carole King, and CSNY, and it would have been enough, but no. I had a lot of fun picking it though, so maybe they'll hear some of it at the restaurant we're going to afterwards. Anyway, I'm thrilled to have located so many of you and brought so many of you together. This has been a riot, okay, in a good way, and it will be for the next few hours. Bless you all. Anyway, even if we're all pretty much in perfect agreement that 40 years has to be some kind of a typo. So I say to both my classmates and Hunter now, you've been great.